Goodbye, daylight savings time. Actually, it didn't affect me at all this morning, since I walk based on the sun. Oh, by the way, my name is Will Buchanan, and the walking I'm referring to is the Walk for Liberty, which is a coast-to-coast walk to New Hampshire in search of more freedom. Today is November 2nd, 2008, day 179 of the Walk for Liberty. Cops can often help people. I've been watching this encounter for a few minutes, and it looks like this cop stopped to help this gentleman who is having problems with his truck. Longtime viewers of my videos might think that I have a completely negative opinion of cops, especially after my recent scary encounter with them in Indiana. But I actually don't. Cops are not evil, emotionless automatons, mindlessly enforcing laws, no matter how wrong some of those laws might be. Cops themselves are people, just like anyone else. And as people, they can exhibit sympathy and compassion. For example, the cop earlier looked like he had stopped to help a motorist in trouble. And my mom, when she came to visit recently, told me a story about how she had been driving out to Colorado in the middle of the winter and waited on the side of the road for about an hour after she had broken down. Nobody had stopped to help her until finally a cop came and stayed with her until she was able to get her car fixed. I guess sometimes kitties like me too. The problem is not the cops themselves, but rather the job. If the profession of law enforcement officer was more like the Andy Griffith's peace officers of yesteryear, then I would have much more respect for the profession. Peace officers existed, well, to keep the peace. They weren't primarily itching to arrest people like cops today seem to be. The profession today has degenerated into what is now primarily referred to as law enforcement officers. Today, they exist first and foremost not to preserve the peace, but rather to enforce the law. And the worst of those laws are the victimless crime drug laws. The problem is, many local police departments receive a good chunk of their budget from the federal government in order to enforce drug laws. So they're incentivized to arrest people for crimes in which they haven't hurt anyone, instead of just keeping the peace. And many people who don't have anything to do with drugs are afraid of cops precisely because of the drug war. The second problem I have with the profession of law enforcement officer is that I have no choice but to pay for them, whether I like the profession or not. What if I'd rather hire my own private protection? Whoops, sorry, I'm out of luck. Well, actually, I still could, but then I'd effectively be double paying. And even if I did hire my own security, I'm still subject to getting arrested by the police for so-called crimes in which I haven't hurt anyone. Isn't that a neat trick? You have no choice but to pay for them, and you can still get arrested by them for breaking victimless crime laws. So what's the solution to all this? A good first step would be to eliminate all victimless crime laws. That would effectively bring the profession back to what it was when they were peace officers. And I would propose going one step further. If you don't want to pay for government police protection, then you have the option to hire your own private protection company. Then the police will be competing on a level playing field. That competition and their subsequent desire to attract and satisfy customers would ultimately lead them to becoming more kind, compassionate, and service-oriented. I walked 12.8 miles for Liberty today. Here are my GPS coordinates. If you do any of your shopping online, please consider purchasing from amazon.walkforliberty.com, and the Walk for Liberty will receive a percentage of your purchase price. This is Will Buchanan, signing off. Big enough for a single passenger. It's the smart car.